because this is very interesting. The one which is associated with in the moment and the action of it.
So anything, you look at the bird, a bird is building a nest. Does it have all the plans, master plans? No. It knows now is the time. That feeling has come. And now they have to search for a place where they can build a nest. The bird, the male and the female, they go out. Now the female is the housekeeper, so she's going to watch and tell. Who's teaching them? Nobody's teaching them. The need puts them into action. And the repetition of action gives them the nest. They go and pick up one straw. Do they know where it is? They don't know. They're going out searching. Here they find one. Another one they find. Here they found one colorful one. One, plain one. A thread. Whatever they got, they make a nice villa for them, a nest villa. And then they lay their eggs. Life continues. And look at these species, After all that, when the work is done, they leave the nest like this and fly away. Okay, to build another nest again. People have to understand this from nature. Nature is so beautiful. You should understand that everybody can actually show discipline when they know that this is the need that they have to do this for. The repetition that they have this, it is for the bigger cause that he has to do this in repetition. Yeah. And that is discipline. That is definitely.
Hello, a very good morning to each and everyone. I welcome all of you back to our manifestation series, which we do on every Tuesday morning. And today we have a topic where, we will be able to understand that uh, two important things which we used to go through, which was either luck or talent. So, but luck and talent is a very vague thing. But when it comes to discipline can be equal for each and everyone. So I invite Rajesh sir. Good morning, Rajesh sir.
Yeah, good morning, Dhruv.
Yeah. So just to introduce the name of our topic, which is the blueprint for success and the discipline in our livelihood. We are doing this the fifth part of our series, where we covered up first resolution, then we went on to intention, then we went on to the conversation, and then action, which was karma. And now we are leading into this part where we are coming up with discipline in our livelihoods. So before we begin, I just wanted to understand that why a blueprint for success. Success is a very heavy word which is comes because success means what everybody wants out there. So can you just let us know that why did you coin this blueprint for success?
Yeah, the reason we coined this as blueprint for success when it comes up to achieving something is that discipline, that repetition of that action that you planned based on your conversation, your thoughts, your intention, your resolution. That repetition, that is to be disciplined. Only that discipline is going to lead you to success. People who are not going to be disciplined are not going to act in the way they have planned themselves for. And when that action does not follow and does not sync with the previous four, then it is never going to work. So the success, the blueprint is definitely discipline, getting the action done again and again and again.
Okay, so it's about the repetition of it, and then that blueprint is created. That the print means something getting imprinted on.
Yeah.
And then again, the word livelihood. We have understood that blueprint and discipline is going to be the major topic which we cover. But before that, can you also make us understand what is livelihood as such? Like, is it a profession? Is it a career, or what is it?
Anything that is done for you to make your life easy, right? You want to fulfill your dreams, you have responsibilities, that becomes your profession. That's what you can contribute to the society. That's exactly what we call livelihood. People become doctors, and practicing medicine becomes their livelihood. Some becomes a singer, singing for movies and stage performances. That becomes a livelihood. Somebody takes law becomes a lawyer, fights cases, livelihood. So livelihood could be so many things as a profession that you take to earn a living. And now the blueprint for that livelihood is discipline. And when I'm saying discipline, when I say blueprint, is like a footprint, when you walk on a path, and when you walk, there is a footprint created because you're walking on it. Now, every day you walk on that same path, the footprints, they then turn into a path. And now that path becomes an easy way for you to come and go every day. Remember the first day when you walk on that path, there are grasses, you don't know whether it is right or wrong. All the experiments happen in that first few times when you walk on that path. But once you have walked on it and your footprints have made the path, now walking on that becomes easy, not only for you, the others to follow also.
Okay, so what you are telling us that by this period, by this point, when we come from the resolution to discipline, it should be so that a path has already been created in that sense.
Now, when you came last time, we talked about action.
Action.
Right now, all that was mental was put into act. Right, and we said that it's the karma that is going to give you result. Now, karma means doing something as a part of discipline. Then it is good. If it is not done as a part of discipline, that karma is going to become bad karma. So discipline puts you into an orderly way in which you can deliver something that you have already thought for. Now that is what I'm saying, that is your blueprint.
Okay. So act is act, like I remember you had given this beautiful quote that any decision without discipline is not a decision.
Absolutely, it's not a decision, because once you have decided something, the action that follows, and the action, if it is not actually in sync with what decision you made, then it is of no point. That decision was a useless decision. You see, randomness of doing things is like what you said. Where does luck and where does talent matter? People who do not actually bring discipline in their life, luck and talent are very far away from that person.
Can you also take us through this? Because luck and talent is always said to be, when you hear great athletes or these people who are great in their professions, who are recognized by others that they are great, it's all. Initially, they also talk about luck and talent, that it needs to be there as a entry ticket for you. I mean, you need to be talented as in some level.
But talent, Dhruv, talent has to be acquired. And it's acquired through discipline, right? It has to be, talent has to be acquired through discipline. When you have an inclination, you
are taking me somewhere else, because talent has said to be something which it is an inborn thing within you.
No. You have an inclination towards it. You have a feeling, a desire towards it. Whatever it is, maybe it's music, maybe it's sports. You have an inclination. You have not yet developed the skill set. Talent is skill set. Talent is not a desire. Talent is where you are actually performing an action and the world can see that magic. So that talent is definitely through repetitions and discipline. Great players are able to play well because they have brought that desire, that feeling of theirs to like something and do that again and again and again as a part of their nature, and that becomes their talent. So yes, the ingredients are necessary, but the molding is also very much necessary, right? Clay which is not put in that wheel of the potter, which is not shaped, is never going to become a pot. So what is the talent and to do with that? You need to have the ingredient. Basic ingredients should be there, but discipline shapes you up for you to become that person, that what you call talent. And then everything that the person does as a part of talent, we call it luck. But no, nobody sees the effort he has put behind it. There cannot be anybody out there who is successful by chance. No one out there.
Luck doesn't fall out the system of the probability. I mean, probability is something which can be not guessed, but because you have done something so repetitively.
Exactly.
Like you were telling me that if a hunter keeps on just sitting and observing and not shooting all the time. Shooting all the time, considering that indisciplined manner shooting. But when the bird comes and he was there being observant and then he shoots his shot, And that then the other one says, wow, what a lucky guy. I fired hundreds of rounds, but he only shot once and he got it.
But Dhruv, for him to fire that one shot, he has practiced a million times before on things where he did not have that shot.
Yeah.
He practiced that million times so that when he had to perform, he could wait and not lose his arrows and keep himself, ready
Yeah.
for that one shot. So he delivers one blow, and that's the master blow. So that's what happens. But that's an outcome of a long-term disciplined effort that he has put into practice. And practice is the key for somebody to put his actions into a point where they can deliver what he wants them to deliver. So action is the key. But repetition of action is discipline.
Okay, so action is where, so now just to, but this was a very important thing because it always comes down to something like talent or luck, to most luck also still keeping it aside, but many of us believe that talent is something is what separates the great and the ones who are not great. But today you're telling it's all about discipline. Talent is nothing but you repetitively doing an act because it's a skill set. It's true that you can only recognize it through a skill set of someone that, oh, he's talented in this way.
Yes, so when you're saying luck and talent, I tell you, these are the gifts that a person with a discipline gets, when he goes out to perform. It's not something that he does by chance. He has made chances much more towards him by bringing discipline in his life. Okay, you cannot say an army by chance won a war. They were disciplined, they were skilled, they were talented. Through repetition of their practice, they were able to build up their mighty strength. And with that, they have won the war. Not by chance. Some player is able to perform well. You cannot say by chance or by luck. No. It is because of the efforts that he has put in, all the practice that he has put in. That is the essence. And that when a person who does not know the background of that person's effort, he calls it luck and talent. But imagine the father who has brought that child up and seen the effort that the child, he will never say it is luck. He will not say it's talent. He'll say it's effort. My son, my daughter has put that extra effort. They have burned the night oil to become what they have become today. You understand? Yeah.
Understood. So it's we should, I mean, this is something coming from you because we can understand that we see you putting in at that kind of effort, and you are with Dr. Lim also. We get to understand you guys do so many things. So it's easy. I remember you had told me that even in the book called The Richest Man in Babylon, he says about a brick, you should seek an advice from the brick master. If you go and check for the diamonds with him, it will be difficult for you to understand. So all because so what do you not you but statistically we have seen that discipline is something which is not in most of the humans. It's difficult to see, but we'll go on that part. Before that, I would like to have a more precise meaning. Like, what does discipline mean? Now, if we have understood the whole idea of it and the whole concept of it, but if we put down, like, what does it mean into simple words, what would it be?
So discipline comes from the word disciple. Okay, disciple means there is something that is going to be your teacher. Okay, or someone that is going to be your teacher, and you're going to go there and study and perform or practice under that teacher. It could be a person, it could be an intention, it could be even simple thing like a place, time, anything of that, but you become a disciple of that. And with disciple, when the disciple is there, discipline actually is the garment of the disciple. So he has to be submissive to whatever his teacher says. Okay, if the teacher is time, if he has said that 6 o'clock I'm going to do this, now teacher is the time. At 6 o'clock, whatever happens, the disciple has to be there. When he's going to be there at 6 o'clock, we will say, oh, what a disciplined person he is. If playing a game, like football, is what he chooses as his master, now that master, he will always go to the master with the ball and play every day. We'll say, wow, what a nice disciplined boy this is. Okay, when it studies, when he's aiming for good marks and he considers studying as his master, then he spends time every day with studying, with time, whatever it is, and he's able to do that. We say, wow, what a disciplined person is. So whom do you choose as your master, and when do you become a disciple, and then continue the journey of the master and disciple?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most beautiful perspective I have received from you, because I always used to get confused. You tell me don't get fixed, then fixing a time, fixing a space. I mean, what is he trying to tell you? It's very confusing. But when you today share something like time, you have to look that it is your master. You're
Yeah.
just using time as a master, but you have to dedicate yourself like a disciple.
Absolutely.
For us, when we would fix time, it was like we are in the control of time. I mean, technically you should fix the time, then the thinking goes like, oh, we'll fix the time. Now that we have fixed the time, we have the control over it.
Yeah.
But now you're saying, no, it's not like that. The time is a representative, like a
Master or a
master
teacher.
or a teacher,
Yeah.
which now, because the student means who listens to the master or the
Absolutely.
teacher. I mean, otherwise it's not a student, right?
Yeah.
So beautiful. I mean, if that is how we look at each and everything, the life becomes so easier for us.
Yeah.
Just to follow time, just to follow things, it's very easy, because uh, there's no there's no two, right? What the master says, the student had to do.
Exactly. And that's what is the key for you to become successful. You have to be a disciple first.
Yeah.
Cultivate the discipline, get all the skill sets that are required as per the plan that was you have set. It's not somebody else who has said that, right? You set yourself those targets. Resolution was yours. You are here to manifest it. And
Yeah.
without discipline, there is no way you can manifest it.
But I would like to go a little more deeper on this, because the perspective is so, it's just amazing. I mean, because like now when I said something as not I, but something becomes a master, or I become a disciple, now it's easier, right? Like, do you believe then the thing would start speaking to you? Like, first, what we were doing, we were setting time. Then it was us who was, the words would formulate like that. Yeah, like I remember you said that if you look at something closely, it becomes bigger and bigger. Bigger in the sense, because we look at it closely, we can see all those things, the shape. Now if I look at the cup, it is like this, and how different it is, it will start telling me about itself. So is that what you're trying to tell us? Because when that thing becomes a master in a way, it will guide us, right? Then it becomes
Yeah.
more of an effortless way, is what I'm trying to
So
understand.
when you choose a master and you become the disciple, it's the exchange from the master to the disciple. Because you choose, for example, you choose 6 a.m. as your time as a master, where you will come and do this. At 6 a.m., when you do this repetitively, 6 a.m. will become a part of you. You'll be known as the 6 a.m. boy. You'll get up at 6 a.m. You'll do things at 6 a.m. It'll become a part of you. And now that thing which was just a target now has become your personality. Imagine carrying those great masters as your personality, time, space, okay, then all those talented people out there, or all those skill sets that you want to acquire, all those become your assets because you have considered them as your masters and you have learned to serve them as a disciple with discipline. How amazing that would be. Wouldn't the world call this person either lucky if they don't know what the background is, or wow, talented, right? So that's what I say. And this is what even, the Buddha used to say, that
Yes, in the
blessed
dynasty.
one. He's saying the one who actually is disciplined is already blessed.
Is it like
Yeah,
he has
because it's in the discipline that all your merits lie. Okay, see, a child, I always say, the first thing of a good child who is a good student is whether he goes to school every day on the time. Okay, whether he actually attends every class with time, whether he does his homework, okay, regularly, whether he actually, prepares and studies regularly. You will see it's all about how he is putting time as a master, following the time and doing the actions that he has to do. So time, why I say, is because for discipline, time is a very key master, because it's only the time that you will serve will change your time, right? So if you want to change your times of the future, you need to invest in this time in the present.
Amazing. So, can you give like, I want to understand more on the aspect that how that submission or that thing we can develop, like because it has not been there. The whole idea of to understand this topic is now that people would like to know that how can they submit this way, instead of them being that feeling that we are the master of the time, but taking time as the master and then submitting themselves. Like,
Yeah.
what are the challenges that can come, or how can we become uh, more like a disciple only, and
Yeah.
submitting ourselves?
So the challenges definitely will come is when you will want to, mistreat your teacher. Okay,
Hmm.
you don't care about your teacher.
Hmm.
You don't care about the craft. You don't
Hmm.
care about anything.
Hmm.
Being careless.
Hmm.
Okay, and just ignoring
Hmm.
the opportunity that you've got
Hmm.
every day
Hmm.
to contribute, to
Hmm.
that thing that you've called a master, because you made a promise.
Hmm.
You made a promise that you want this to be manifested.
Hmm.
Now that thing has to be your master, right?
Hmm.
You have to submit yourself to that thing.
Hmm.
Every time, whenever doubt, whenever that lethargy, whenever that fatigue, whenever that feeling comes,
Hmm.
that we'll do it next day or forget it, not now. You should remember it's not your choice. The master is someone else.
Hmm.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You have given that choice long time back to the resolution that you made.
Hmm.
Now serve that resolution.
Hmm.
Now you're in the serve mode,
Hmm.
right? You're in the disciple mode. You're in the student mode. Be humble and just serve. That's it. Full stop. That's where the attitude changes. As soon as you become a student,
Hmm.
you are more submissive. You're more humble. You're more ready to receive.
Hmm.
But once you're in a master mode, that's a beast mode. You will not care. You're gone. You're off track, right? And two masters cannot teach each other, right?
Yeah.
One master and one disciple is necessary, right? So
Yeah.
if you make one master and the other, you are also a master. God bless you, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have seen those bouts, where two masters are. I mean, they have debates only, nothing else.
Absolutely, they will just have all the verbal, kind of throwing of bombs against each other, and there's no learning in the process. That would be exchange,
Hmm.
but here we are talking about learning.
Yeah, one where you're giving flowers, one you're giving
Yeah.
bullets.
Remember, your livelihood is through learning begins your earning.
Hmm.
Okay. So you need to learn, you need to have something that is as a part of your nature that
Hmm.
you can contribute, where people can exchange something that you have with what they have. And then that becomes your livelihood.
Yeah.
Some skill set, some talent, something that you can offer to the society, so that society gives you some space within itself for you to achieve what you want to achieve, right? In the
Hmm.
prosperity element, you will need the society,
Hmm.
and society will need something from you
Hmm.
in exchange with, if they have to give you something in return,
Hmm.
right? So that barter system needs you to be skilled, and for that skill will come with discipline.
Hmm.
Like I always give an example of a cobbler.
I have it.
Yeah, you know
The,
which one
the
you have?
next one, if you see the
Yeah.
picture, we have put the importance of
Oh
discipline.
yeah. This is
There's a cobbler
yeah.
sitting
So this
under
this
a tree.
this I always like, because I used to see under this tree there used to always be this cobbler, who used to be there basically to stitch your shoes if they are broken, your sandals if they are broken. And I used to think the guy is just sitting. There is nobody coming. Okay, but he's sitting there.
Hmm.
How and for what is he sitting? But I used to like his discipline. He has nothing, but he used to sit there only. Then I thought, one day when my wife's, sandals were broken, she said, I have to search for a cobbler. I said, no, I know one. He sits there only. He doesn't go anywhere.
You more confident
I was more confident
than the
before,
cobbler.
before she said, I knew where he is and what he can do. So I then went there. And that day when I saw, there were many people there. So I realized that everybody there knew what I knew.
Yeah.
So everybody, when they had a problem, they knew where to go.
Hmm.
So what actually gave that person, that cobbler, a livelihood? He was just repairing shoes, right?
Hmm.
And sandals. What gave him his livelihood? Because his discipline was seen by everyone. Everybody knew the address where their problems will get solved. And that is where I mean that discipline gives you livelihood. Okay, it is the discipline of the cobbler that gave him the livelihood.
Hmm.
It's a discipline of the shopkeeper that gives him his livelihood. It's a discipline of the player who goes on the ground, gives him his performance and livelihood. It's discipline at the core that gives you your livelihood. If you don't come to office on time, if you're not disciplined, don't expect the organization to keep you for long. One day you'll be kicked out.
Yeah.
Your livelihood will be at stake. It's the discipline that you're hired for. It's the discipline that you need to deliver.
Hmm.
It's discipline that matters. Nothing else matters.
So being a disciple of all the things which are in your life.
Yeah.
But this image of a cobbler, when you represent it now, it was so beautiful. Like he's like the one person who even sits on the ground. He reminds you more of a meditative pose where he's sitting on the ground doing his work and everything. And to with the tree mostly, they would find something with the shade. So that was one important thing which when you told me, and then I started looking at like cobblers in a different way. And then maybe I thought we can have a workshop, be a cobbler, learn the art of discipline.
So the secret of discipline in this world where we see the world, manifested world, is time and space, right? We say the world of manifestation is time and space. So discipline involves these two things, time and space.
Time and space.
Okay. So you see the cobbler, the space, he's disciplined at the space, and time. So because of these two things, he is in sync with existence manifestation.
So these are the two most important masters. Like
definitely,
you can keep them on the most
these are
apex,
the only two things that matter:
time
and space.
Now time, I know you're saying it in a very dynamic way, not just time as the time in the that also, but can you make us understand time like you told at the 6 a.m. Space, like how, for example, if somebody is has a job who has to or something, they have
Let
to
me
travel.
give you a story from the Mahabharata. You know the story of Eklavya.
Eklavya.
Okay, so Eklavya was one of the, very, you can say from a low strata. He was not a Kshatriya, but he wanted to learn the art of, mastering the archery. And there was this ashram of Dronacharya where all the royal family children were studying, including Arjuna. And Arjuna was Dronacharya's favorite student, and he knew that he's going to make him the world's best archer. So when Eklavya goes there and he wants to take admission, but he's denied of that admission because of some reasons. So now you look at how discipline works. Okay, one was under a master teacher who was going to teach Arjuna. Dronacharya was going to teach Arjuna how to have discipline and then learn the art and become one of the greatest. But there was other who had an intention of becoming a great archer, right? And then what does he do? He doesn't have a teacher. He creates an image of a teacher. Now that is what he's creating himself a space for. He makes sure that he actually just imitates time and space. He becomes like the student. He becomes a disciple of time and space, and he then becomes one of the greatest. Okay, and then the story is that he was actually much better than even Arjuna, and Dronacharya had to take away his thumb. That's another story. But what I mean to say is, it's time and space that matters. Okay, if you commit yourself to time and space, not the teacher also.
Not the teacher.
You see, Eklavya had no teacher technically. Only
that is somewhere I am not able to understand, because you say that master and the teacher, and then again you.
No, I said master of time and master of space. That is what matters.
But a teacher is someone who has those.
He can guide you.
Yeah.
But if there is nothing like that, these are all add-ons. The teacher.
These are add-ons.
Like you see, you want to study.
For example, even this Eklavya didn't have the idea of Dronacharya. Then what?
No, he wanted a teacher, right? He did not get. So he found an image of a teacher, and he
still took that teacher.
Yeah, if he would not, right? He would have taken somebody else. If not somebody, he would have kept self-practicing. He would have kept on practicing.
He would have made
practice
like these Wright brothers.
Yeah,
they made a bird. So, but you need some kind of depiction or something like that.
No. You see, when you say manifestation, when you want to manifest something, you use time and you have this mental image of this is what you want to become. For this, you need this. Okay, it could be mental, it could be physical also. At the end, what matters is, are you performing the action that is in alignment with the resolution? If it's in alignment with your resolution, you can use different components to make sure that you are in the act. Some reason. Now, you see, you want to study. You don't have a good facility in your house. Okay, you don't have the provisions that somebody else is having. That is all excuse. A disciplined person says, okay, nothing, no problem. I'll go under a street light and study. I'll take a lamp and I'll study. I will study. I will make sure that I will study. That discipline that he puts into his effort, that is what differentiates him from the one who has got all the privileges and the one without privileges. Both of them come in par.
Yeah.
The fact was, this person put more effort through discipline. The other put effort through privileges. But at the end, both will be at the par.
I mean, this one might also even once after coming on par, he'll easily, because the effort, it's like the frog who took that leap, to that level, and the one who was just jumping at that level. I mean, it's a complete different story.
So that we always say that hunger
Hmm.
is what makes you that killer.
So we now, when, like, for example, many of us, privileges are there, right? So if we want to develop that hunger, like, we don't have that uh, situation where we have to go and study under a street light. Then is it that within those privileges, how can we make sure that, is it by eliminating all of these things, like these add-ons, and then that hunger automatically comes
No,
in?
it means that with all the privileges,
Hmm.
I don't get distracted and
Hmm.
remain focused.
Hmm.
I can use privileges for bettering myself, right?
Hmm.
I should see that, hey, I have so much right now.
Hmm.
I'm much better off than the other people out there.
Yeah.
Why don't I make the best use of this privilege?
Hmm.
Why don't I outperform everybody else because I have all the assets?
Hmm.
When you know this, then you're great.
That view is okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's somebody who doesn't have a horse,
Hmm.
and other person has a horse.
Hmm.
Okay, the one who doesn't have a horse is thinking about how fast I can run. He's putting all the effort to be running fast.
Hmm.
One who has a horse, okay, he should understand I have the privilege of a horse.
Hmm.
I can be a great horseman.
Hmm.
If I forget that and I want to be a runner,
Hmm.
okay, now I say, oh, I want to be a runner, then I will have to let go of the horse, right? Because somebody else is practicing without a horse,
Hmm.
right? That person cannot be a great horse rider.
Hmm.
I can be one.
Hmm.
So what privileges I have, what skill sets I have, what things I have at my disposable, which I disposable, that I can use to deliver something which others cannot.
Hmm.
That is what I should look at. And the discipline says that use all your resources. Do not complain that you don't have. Whatever you have, take that and deliver action. Because the previous one was action.
Hmm.
If you don't put discipline,
Hmm.
you will give excuses for not doing that action. And
Hmm.
that's the first point where your failure begins.
Hmm.
But if you don't give excuses,
Hmm.
take that step of action and put that into repetition and keep on repeating it again and again, you are on the blueprint to success.
So now you have given us the blueprint of success also. What, because you introduced this word, can you explain us failure as well, to understand that where things might go wrong when it comes to success or failure?
So, failure is something that you don't want, right?
Hmm.
Things that you don't want and you get, you'll say, I failed, right?
Yeah.
But what you want and you get, that's success.
But it is also said that there is this saying where the journey of success is through failures, something like that.
No, I think
Failure is
we need to change the dialogue. This journey of success comes through practice. It's in practice that you fail, right?
That is our dialogue.
So you practice, practice, practice. Practice is not for
Yeah.
winning and losing, right?
Losing.
Practice is just to better yourself.
Yeah.
So your success will come through practice.
Hmm.
So keep practicing, keep practicing. It's only through practice that you will acquire the skill sets of actually being successful. And success is not about winning or losing. Success is seeing what you were and what you have become.
Hmm.
You understood? If you were uneducated, you did not know to read and write, but you went to college, you went to school, you gave in the disciplined effort to study something, and now you can read, write, you are successful. You are successful in your own way. Look where you were and what you are because of the effort you put through discipline.
Hmm.
I think that is the point of success. Now, using that successful stage of yours, you can go into competitions, win and lose. That's okay. That's another competition.
Hmm.
Winning and losing is a part of a competition. But success is what you were and what you became, right? Like a caterpillar is successful if it completes its journey from the cocoon to the one with the wings that is flying here and there. I think that's successful,
Yeah.
right? So everybody who is successful is the one who have transformed their life.
So it's about the journey of transformation within us.
Of course, because at the end,
not gauging on to what did we gain or lose or something like that, but did we transform?
But when you look at things, when you become successful, you have lost a lot of things that you did not want.
I mean, a caterpillar lost itself and then become a cocoon.
Yeah, it had to let go of the leaves that it was eating. Now it's jumping on flowers from here to there, flying from there and eating the nectar. So what did it lose? It lost the leaf. It lost all the crawling. But now what did it gain? It got the wings. It got the nectar. You understand? So what is it that you're going to lose and what is it that you're going to gain? That is going to define your success.
I still want you to clarify the whole idea of success and failure and all of these things, because this is where all the wrong thoughts or misleading can happen with each and every one of us.
Yeah.
Because we take on practice. I remember that when I had heard that quote that success is the through the failure, I felt like, yeah, because practice also practice word makes more sense, because the conceptual understanding was that whenever you practice, you're actually not succeeding. So whatever you call it failure also.
So now you tell me, one student who is failing every time in his school. Every time. First year failed, second year failed, third year
first year failed, never second and third is not there.
No, he if he's failing, would you call him successful?
No.
Then you cannot use that success comes through failure.
True.
No, he's failed.
Yeah.
But if he realizes this failure and he knows that I have to go and practice, I have to study hard and make sure that whatever happened to me, I need to correct that. I need to pass. People who will pass through, and that is what success is. Right? So success is through practice. Whatever you failed in, you improve yourself in that. Practice. And how do you improve?
By practice.
There's no other way. By disciplined practice on the things that did not work for you, you can get the things to work for you. It's practice and practice and practice that matters.
So if you want to tell us that you should look at success in this way, what would that way?
So I would say that, like, for example, let's say you started this manifestation series and you said this year's resolution is this. Success would be at the end of December, okay, 31st. If you have achieved that thing that you had promised yourself that you want to achieve, that would be success, right? If you did not achieve it, then what would you say? Oh, I failed, right? Now, in this whole effort, if you look at it, the one who's going to put a disciplined effort, he will know for sure in the month of January, he'll know in the February, he'll know in month of March. He will know every month whether he's heading towards success or is heading towards failure. So it doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen by luck. It's through a process, and you know. If you're going downhill, you know you're going downhill. If you're climbing uphill, you know you're climbing uphill. The effort is different for both.
Yeah.
One is just letting go and go down. The other is putting that effort against everything, tiring yourself, putting that and climbing up. Okay, so after 1 year, you see somebody on the top of a mountain, the other down in the valley. You should know what they have done, right? And the only thing that would have been there is discipline.
Discipline.
Right? And when I say discipline is livelihood, because livelihood is something that you live for. Right? Every day, from morning to evening, what are you living for? Right? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Oh, good.
That is your livelihood.
So this should be a reflective question.
Yeah.
What do you live for?
Absolutely. Every day, what is it? Is that resolution?
But these questions are not easy to answer sometimes, when
they need not be answered. They need to be performed. Why will you answer? You're asking yourself the question and you're going to answer yourself and go into a mental chit chat. Wasting
that's
time.
Wrong, right?
Absolutely. You ask the question and then get to work.
Like, give me an example.
Like, for example, when you get up, you should know, why did you get up today? What is that you need to do today? If it requires you to study, getting up, doing all your basic chores and making sure that you sit with a book. You know why you're getting up. You know this is what you have to deliver. You know this is the purpose. That is what I mean is discipline. That is what I mean is now giving yourself 100% to the livelihood that you have organized yourself for. So that is what I mean.
And then when you go with what do you live for, how do you try to understand? Like, for an example,
when you're a student, you live for being a good student, right? When you're doing a job, you live for being a good employee. So when you live with the purpose that you're doing, whatever you're doing for.
Hmm.
I think that's what matters, and that makes the difference,
So,
that gives you an edge over the others.
so you are, I've been trying to understand. You don't talk about that dreamy state.
No, there's
Like
no
you are
dream state.
saying that what you are doing,
Yeah,
like whatever you are associated with. And even when you give an example of privileges and being underprivileged, you are not even talking about him looking at him or him looking at. Matlab, that should be understood that I have a glass. I better drink from the glass.
exactly.
I don't have a glass. I better drink from the bottle. If it is okay for others, I can ask, can I drink it?
Yeah,
These are the things. If there's a chair, I sit on a chair. If there is not a chair, I sit on a zafu or something like that. But you don't go into that realm of dreamy state. Even now, when you're talking, what do you live for? It's like what situation you are in. You should be aware of it. You should analyze it. If you're a student at this stage of your life, what you are at this stage of your life, you should live for that, not for something which you want to have. But again, a resolution we had set in the future, then how does this apply to something which we
so
have said,
your resolution is in the future, right? But
but we
you'll have
work
to
on the
walk in the
past?
present. No, you'll have to work in the present
Yeah,
to go into the future. There's no other way into the future than working in the present.
present.
Present is the only door that lets you walk into the future.
Hmm.
Okay, so always remember that working and giving your best in the present moment
Hmm.
is the best way to shape your future. There's
Hmm.
no other way.
Yeah, I understand. And again, there was this line you said, learning is the
You're
way you're
learning.
earning,
Yeah.
and even livelihood. So, livelihood, most of our examples have been in the way where
Huh.
it comes to some earning or something like that. But earning is not only limited to the monetary exchange or something like that, right? Because students, what would their earning would be?
Students can earn good marks,
Marks.
gain good respect,
Yeah.
earn the love and care of their parents.
Hmm.
There's so much to earn.
When you say good marks, good, this word you are using, like good, how do we
Good
like
is defined by that person. What is good for him? For somebody, 100 out of 100 is good. For
good?
other, oh, even 50 is good.
So that is
Let him put
still
the effort. Whatever he thinks is good.
descriptive.
Yeah.
Or that's what I'm asking, because there is a master now, a subject, and you have considered yourself as a disciple to that subject. So good should be according to us or the master.
No, the master will not decide your good. You have to do what good. You will come with a container,
Hmm.
and the size of the container is what the master will fill and give you.
Hmm.
You cannot tell him, you only give me the container, and you will. No, the master doesn't give you the container. He gives you the content.
And this,
Container is yours.
yeah.
Okay.
Then the
So,
whole so oh,
yeah.
so something which is giving you the content, and then
You should
time.
carry your container.
But you were talking about that pot thing,
Yeah.
which shapes us.
Yes.
What are those? Like, what shapes me as a container?
So
That is again up to me or something else?
now, if you're talking about the pot,
Hmm.
pot is where the master is shaping this person.
Hmm.
Now, it depends on how much of the clay he has put. If he has put only this much clay on that,
Hmm.
he can only make a lamp out of it.
Hmm.
You cannot tell him make a big pot out of it.
Hmm.
If he's put a big thing, I think he'll make a big, massive pot out of it.
Hmm.
So it depends on what the child is putting as an effort, what the disciple is putting as an effort, as an ingredient
Hmm.
for the master to shape him. Okay, you come with a small container, which is 100 ml,
Hmm.
and you tell the master, give me 1 liter of milk. He cannot give you, it will overflow.
How can we apply in this?
In your life, when you see you want to go to a school
Hmm.
and you want to study,
Hmm.
okay, but your only aim is to just pass.
Hmm.
50 marks, 60 marks, more, I don't expect anything more than that.
Hmm.
What will happen?
Nothing.
You will only work for that, right?
Yeah.
But people who put a target even for 60 marks,
Hmm.
they need to give that 100% for that 60 marks.
Hmm.
If they say, I want 60 marks, and then they don't put that effort even for 60 marks, they might get 40 marks.
Hmm.
You understood?
Yeah.
We are not expecting him to get 80 marks.
Hmm.
But he can see the magic if he puts the effort for 60 marks. And if he is really the one who is like talented and skilled, that same effort for 60 might give him 80 also. And then say, wow,
Hmm.
he can understand his potential
Hmm.
only when he puts in effort.
Hmm.
Right? So the technical thing is here that what is the contribution from your side for you to receive?
Hmm.
Okay. So it's very important that you should know that what kind and size of container I am to go out and take the content from the world that is ready to offer.
So the world is ready to offer. It is us what contribution we set ourselves for.
Yeah.
because 100 marks are there out there. It's not that 100 is not, it's written that this person will never get 100 marks.
It's not written like
It's
that.
not written like
So
that.
you see, when Shah Rukh Khan enters the city of Bombay, he wants to become an actor. But did he decide to be as just a small, uh, like a
Pretty
normal
actor.
actor? No. What did he say? He looking at the Bombay streets and everything. He said, "One day I'll rule this city. I'll be the king of Bollywood." No, at that time, Amitabh Bachchan was already the Badshah of Bollywood.
Shahenshah.
Yeah, you can call him Shahenshah also. But in that, a small kid making his container size only big. Now, what is he going to do? He's going to take that container and go into the world, right? His only effort is to fill that container with the content. And that content is the effort that he's going to put into the particular act that he wants to do, the actions, makes it into a livelihood. And today, if you look at it, he's in par with what Amitabh Bachchan is, right? He's called as the Badshah of Bollywood.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you see. So you need to know, when you ask Sachin Tendulkar, a cricketer, what he wanted to be as a childhood, he said he wanted to represent the country and play for the country. At 16, he did play for the country because his container was big. Similarly, what is it that are you looking at? What is your container size? Are you looking, no, I just want to, do it for myself? That's a different thing. If a student decides that I want to get 100 out of 100 marks, he's still thinking for himself. He says, no, I want to make my parents proud. He's made a container a little big, He knows that I want to make my school proud. He's make it more bigger. He wants to make sure that, everybody in this area will know that it was a student like me who, when went to exam, made sure there was not a single error that the teachers could point out. He's making his size bigger. The more the challenges that he is ready to take, he knows that it is going to be achieved only through discipline.
Amazing. And so this actually, I wanted to ask you how to make it big, and you laid out it very nicely that the more and more, challenges we take on ourselves, challenges in the sense that if this is what I can do now, but I want to go a little further, the intention is to always move, make my container more bigger. And but sometimes when like a statement what Shah Rukh Khan would give and everything, what we are taught is to remain, don't dream so big, the whole idea. And then there are these factors of trust that how would you trust that you knew the world will give you this? Why the world doesn't owe you? Then why would the world is going to give you and make you the king of the, he's there, but it's not just that he would be the only one.
But if you see, nobody's giving you like that. It's in exchange. I told you the barter system works. What are you contributing for them to give you something, right? When you do a road show, you have performed.
Still, people believe that we put in the effort, but we did not get it. The whole idea.
And the effort was wrong, right? If you just on the radio and you did not tune right, you cannot say the radio did not give me the song that I wanted to play.
The calibration was.
Yeah, you better tune it right? Everything requires that. You have 100 keys and you say the first key did not work. You try out all 100 and then you tell this. Okay. Because one of the keys is for the lock. So you should know. You cannot just expect the world to give you like that. Why will the world give you? Who are you, man? Nobody. You become somebody.
Then
and the one is, remember, people come with their torn shoes and broken sandals only when they know where the cobbler is. So what is it that the world can see you as a cobbler, as an artist, as a doctor, a physician, an entrepreneur? Why will they come to you? And they need to see you, that disciplined guy out there doing this again and again and again and again. And then they relate you with that thing that they need. They come to you for that. Like today, if I am a counselor and I help people in psychotherapy, it's not because, oh, I have a degree. No, I have not even advertised myself. But it's through people that know that this guy is always into this. So they keep on referring people because they know this guy is the cobbler, We can go to him with our torn hearts and torn minds, He will maybe put a patch and help us continue our journey. So this is exactly what you should learn. That what is it that you're offering and letting the people know who you are. And that is only visible through discipline.
Okay. So next, we get the whole idea here, and then the word which we have put for the next slide is the power of consistency. I think it's on the previous one.
Okay.
Here you had like the power of consistency and persistence.
Persistence.
So these two words
So
you
now
would
you
like
break
to
this
answer.
word. Persist means not to give up. You
Not
remain
to
there.
give up.
Okay. Stay there. Whatever happens,
Hmm.
okay, is to persist,
Hmm.
not vanish.
Hmm.
Okay. Persist. And if you persist and persist, that is called persistence.
Hmm.
But what? What do you persist with? What you consist of?
Hmm.
Okay, what is that consist? And what is that consistency? What we say is, if you consist of putting an effort of say 15 minutes daily into meditation,
Hmm.
that is doing that every day is called consistency.
Hmm.
Okay, that consistency and that persistence,
Hmm.
these are the two basic legs on which discipline walks.
Hmm.
Right? It can run on this.
Hmm.
It can fly on this.
Hmm.
So these are the two things that is very, very important. And persistence and consistency
Hmm.
are your choice. You can do that.
So this is where we have that.
This is where you have.
This is
Do
where.
not give up until it is gone.
Hmm.
You understood? You don't give your life like that, until it is taken away. You live till that time, right? You should do everything like that. Everything till the time it does not go away. You should remain there and not give up till that point. So persist and remain consistent.
So remain. This is the first time somebody is telling me that this is how consistency is. Consistency and persistency, I would believe that it's just the same thing spoken in two words, because there's always these synonyms out there in the world. But consistency is that what do you consist of?
Yeah.
And then that whatever you have consists, like the resolution it might be, or the intention. Now how persistent you are with it, like the example which you gave. So the meditation actually helps a lot, because that is the act which you can do anytime, anywhere, and those 15 minutes out of the day you can. So time is not only now, time can change into the time limit also, or is it that time of the day only?
No, so some disciplined time that you give. Now let's go with the cobbler's example of persistence and consistency. Do you think he is persisting there?
Yes.
Okay.
No
Do you
matter
think
what, even the rains comes.
Do you think he's consistent there?
Yes.
Means today he's a cobbler, tomorrow he's Bhelpuri wala, the third day he's selling clothes.
No.
You understand? He consists to remain a cobbler, always persisting there. Okay, so same. Anything that you are consistent with, you don't keep on changing, and persist, that is, you don't give up. With these two things, you make time and space work for you.
So consistency is where you don't keep on changing.
Yeah,
And
that is space.
that is space.
So consistency is how much space you have in which you can
consist.
consist. And persistence is time.
Yeah, persist. That is how that you explained consistency.
So time
persist.
you don't look at time ticking away.
But
For
like
a person who's
endurance.
persistent, time stops.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. For him, time stops. Till the time that thing of delivery doesn't come, he will remain there. There is no ticking of time for him.
Yeah, like the one you said about the one who.
Yes.
Shot.
So when he's in looking and he's waiting, he's not looking at the ticking time. For that person, it doesn't matter 1 minute, 1 hour, one whole day. If he is given that target of making sure that he hits that target whenever it comes, he will go out and shoot that. Okay, because for that 1 minute when it happens is the most important minute. Rest all the minutes don't matter.
Don't matter. I mean, that is
That's
only
what persistence is.
beautiful. You had given this picture of rice field. So can you do you want to tell others about it? That what does this mean in the terms of discipline? Like
So when you see a farmer grows rice, so he has a small patch of land in which he just throws the seeds. Now he is letting those seeds sprout. When the seeds sprout, they have just sprouted up. Then what he does, now he wants them to grow. So when he first allowed them to just spring up, right, and then he wants them to thrive and grow. For that, he picks all of those again and then puts it in an orderly manner so that they have enough space around them. Okay,
And
they are in alignment so that everybody gets equal sun, everybody gets equal water. Now, as a disciplined farmer, he makes sure that the effort that he's putting on the things that he wants, he is able to organize them. With this organization, he's able to thrive, right? And make sure that all the rice, that saplings have now become, a part of the big rice field where he can harvest the grains. So in life, there are these moments where you have to let these moments, happen within you. That's why I said, it's your inclination, your desires that sprout within you. If a smart person understands this and takes these small desires and knows that now these have now sprouted enough, I need to put them into the mind field and sow them in a right manner, replant them in a right manner, organize things around them, so that I can let these little desires and dreams and aspirations become my mantra for success, and they actually manifest into reality, so that I can harvest my own field. So this is what the person has to do, and that will happen only through discipline.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if he puts one this crop somewhere in
No,
the
it'll not work.
land,
It'll not work.
one crop there, then
No, the problem
the
will
effort
be,
is also so useless, and I mean,
and he cannot give that time and space.
and he would not even know, right? Like if
Yeah,
one is within 1 kilometer, other
yeah,
one is in the next 100 kilometers, who's going to know,
yeah.
what is going to happen with that one? And the most foolish thing would be to go till there. Instead of that, you rather
Organize. Yeah,
organize yourself.
yeah.
Great. So moving on, that now that we have understood that what discipline is, how important it is, then how time and space works, and the two legs which discipline walks on. So two legs, like the persistence and the consistency. Now, like for the ones who have listening to this, now if we want to reclaim back discipline, what is the way that you would suggest that we start? Because it's very clear that you have made whatever you are associated with, that would the best thing to start with instead of dreaming. Because discipline people, yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
So discipline, a lot of us try to bring in our lives when we try to do a lot of new things to the dreams we have, the success we want, the achievements to do with something which actually we are not associated with. Because and again, the question which I'll ask you is that what to do with the boredom which comes with discipline.
No, boredom will come if your mind is wavering here and there into something
Because
else.
boredom is associated with the discipline.
No, discipline.
I'm just saying that when it
Disciplined
goes
guy is never bored. He
and now
enjoys
that
it.
you have told the way,
He enjoys that thing. He likes that repetition. Have you seen a gutka person who's eating gutka getting bored with gutka? No, he enjoys it because he's disciplined in eating it.
yeah.
He's an addict to that. Sometimes you have to become an addict, you need to become an addict to the good things also in life. And then the good things give you the same pleasure that the bad things might give you. You have to understand it's not the thing that gives you the pleasure. It's the engagement with it, the happiness that you get from it. Right? So somebody who is just, going every day in the morning to play, he's an addict of the ground and the ball, and he enjoys that. He cannot live without it. So that person is, I call, a disciplined guy because he's enjoying his routine.
So even the gutka wala is disciplined.
Yeah, he's disciplined, but he will, because of his discipline, he will get the fruits of that discipline. He will definitely get cancer because that's what he worked hard for, right?
But I never saw discipline in them.
Who?
I mean, to tell us that they are disciplined now.
No,
I mean,
technically they are. You see, it's the way their addiction becomes their discipline.
yeah.
You see, discipline
No, very true.
automates itself. You see, when you do something with effort, then that effort becomes effortless because there is an automation. The mind automates it. Okay, so the way discipline works is initially you put in the effort.
So that's how we start.
Yes. How to start? See, today you are able to run and walk because someday back when you were a small kid, you were just began to crawl. Right? That crawling was your first step that you're walking today and running. What did you really want from your life? What do you really want? Have you started crawling towards it? Have you started putting that small effort towards it? Have you started bringing that discipline towards it? Once you do that, trust me, the crawling will become walking and the walking will become running anytime later, But what is that you need to do? So, for example, you need to go to a gym, but you don't have the inclination of even lifting a single gram of weight. The first step is going there. Just going there, sitting in the gym is the first discipline that you do.
Is discipline associated with interest or no?
There could be things that you're not at all interested in, But discipline can bring that interest in you.
Because you said if some person who is not even inclined to
Inclined also,
but still he can opt for
yeah, you see,
so discipline is this neutral party which is not going to be biased because of my interest.
No, it is not. You see, when you like something, you do because you like it. Okay, that's something that is liking, fueling your thing for you to repeatedly do that, right? But sometimes things you don't like and you don't want to do it, but that doing is important for you to live. For example,
like the gutka person, he has
yeah,
to take up a new discipline.
yeah, or a person suffering from diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes.
Okay, he likes every day he was disciplined to have this much sweet. But today he has to change because he's been detected with diabetes. What should he do? He has to bring a new discipline, but he doesn't like it. It's going against all his dreams and desires. But if he learns that the reward of being disciplined now is much more, so he will now cultivate that. How will he do that? He'll follow a strict chart. He'll follow a strict timetable. He'll follow a discipline. With that discipline, one day you ask the same guy after 6 months, he may say, no, I don't want to, I don't like to. Because his liking has changed. His thing has changed because discipline changes everything. Discipline can transform you completely. Your likes, your dislikes, everything. The effort that you put into you beginning to discipline yourself is where your journey begins. So when you have to start and reclaim discipline, you have to start. Start. However it is, just start. Start with the things that are possible so that you can reach to the impossible.
Oh.
Yeah. So whatever is possible. But you just go, you don't want to go to the gym, just go and watch, just collect pamphlets from different gyms. Don't go to a single gym. Don't do that. Then one day just decide to take one gym. Okay. Don't even lift a single, just go there in the gym. Do this. I'm telling you, one day.
You mean to break it down in a very smaller
yes,
way.
Into the things that are possible.
So like for example, you want to eat something, just an example, but that is too big for you to eat. You break it down.
Exactly.
If it's still bigger for you to, you break it down.
Yeah.
You break it down to the point that now you feel, oh, this much I can eat.
Yes. So when you do these little things, the big things automatically
happens. But this is nice to know that how impossible, like you're not impossible always means something which is not possible. But in this, we understand that something like a gym which was not possible for us, we are talking about that impossible, not you suddenly flying. And
yeah, it's like somebody tells you to move the 100 kg bag of grain from here to there. And you say, oh, I cannot. But if you forget about giving any excuse, you say, okay, I'll do that. And you take 1 kg and you keep it there. You take another kg, you keep it there.
Oh.
You see, slowly you have moved the 100 kg there. And the guy is going to, hey, kabhi kiya? How did you do this? He said, you told me to move 100 kg, I moved it. Oh, they'll say, you've done that. But what made that happen was the discipline of that small efforts that you put in.
So discipline is taking us with bringing in this clarity which you gave. You know how nice it is that you said, "Hey, move that 100 kg bar." I was like, "Okay, how will I move?" Then I thought you'll say that from today, take up, start lifting 10 kgs.
No.
Then after some time, come and lift the 100 kg. But you're saying, hey.
But I can guarantee you, the 1 kg that you'll move will give you the ability to lift 2 kg next time.
Yeah.
Either 2 kg one day, and one day you will be able to lift.
Yours was more like you have given us the idea where it should be associate means the act
that moment
act should come in, not that moment, and that moment, like not some another moment for another. You should not wait for lifting 100 kg in some another time, and that excuse you don't give yourself that no, I don't have that strength or anything. Hey, you can lift 1 kg, go lift. But
so people who don't have the habit of reading book, I think don't read book. Never read your book. Just buy one book and keep with you. Then what? Just buy and read the title. Then read the back. That what you can do.
Yeah.
Choose a book by reading its title and the back part. But buy one book. They begin reading the title and the back part. Then I say, don't ever read the book. Book is useless to read. Just read the preface. You'll get to know. Then it becomes easy for them. I read the preface. I get it. Then I tell them, actually the essence of the book is only in the first chapter. The rest chapters are useless. Then the guy says, oh, is it so? Then I read the first chapter. Will I know everything? Yeah. The guy reads the first chapter. Slowly, the guy becomes a reader. You understood? And within no time, you'll see this guy is just buying books, he's buying reading chapters, and he's transformed himself. What happened? What change happened? Discipline. Discipline of one thing. He was persistent and he was consistent with what he had to do. That is where the guide of a teacher comes in play.
That
right?
is how he.
Yeah. So that's where he's being molded.
Give us more examples of this, because this is very interesting. The one which is associated with in the moment and the action of it.
So anything, you look at the bird, a bird is building a nest. Does it have all the plans, master plans? No. It knows now is the time. That feeling has come. And now they have to search for a place where they can build a nest. The bird, the male and the female, they go out. Now the female is the housekeeper, so she's going to watch and tell. Who's teaching them? Nobody's teaching them. The need puts them into action. And the repetition of action gives them the nest. They go and pick up one straw. Do they know where it is? They don't know. They're going out searching. Here they find one. Another one they find. Here they found one colorful one. One, plain one. A thread. Whatever they got, they make a nice villa for them, a nest villa. And then they lay their eggs. Life continues. And look at these species, after all that, when the work is done, they leave the nest like this and fly away. Okay, to build another nest again. People have to understand this from nature. Nature is so beautiful. You should understand that everybody can actually show discipline when they know that this is the need that they have to do this for. The repetition that they have this, it is for the bigger cause that he has to do this in repetition.
Yeah.
And that is discipline. That is definitely discipline.
So we have added a slide, if you can go ahead. After this one, we'll come back to the previous one, which was this bird and the nest of it.
Yeah.
And then this was the question, that is discipline associated, what you're saying need, we have written here the responsibility.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
So responsibility, now break this up into 2 points.
You will give something else.
No, it means...
I was thinking of responsibility, something
No.
on you, but
No. It's the ability to respond, right? Is responsibility.
That is
Now, when you have a need, the ability with which you're going to respond to that need is your responsibility,
Wow.
right? It's not something that you cannot respond with.
Yeah.
You cannot carry the whole world's load. But if your ability to respond to the needs of your family and your family becomes your responsibility, that's your responsibility. A bird knows its responsibility, that it's time to build a nest. It does whatever it needs to do. It will make a nest. I'm telling you. It will go out here, there, everywhere. Within that time frame when the female is going to lay the eggs, before that time the nest is built. I can assure you they can do that. You can never see a bird laying an egg in a half-built nest. I have not seen that. Okay, I have never seen a bird do that. They have taken that responsibility and they have fulfilled that responsibility only and only through the effort of discipline.
Understood. And this part where you're talking about the bird, it's more of that, it's going and picking up from here, there, and everything, where it's more of a dynamic practice which is into. Now, when how do we apply that same thing in our life with the, like, for example, anything? You can give an example, because this is more dynamic. So obviously the bird is interested.
If you are the
Because
bird,
discipline is it dynamic or is it very static?
No.
What is it?
Discipline, the decision is static.
The decision is static.
But the whole discipline around it,
because that would make
that
it
is
fun.
dynamic. You know why? Like if you want to pass, that is static. That's a decision. Now, to pass and get that result, you will need to put in the dynamic effort. Okay, you will have tons of problems. You have a house where you're not able to study. Then you'll find some way to study. You'll not find a reason not to study, which is already there. You'll find a reason and a way to study. You will not give excuses. You'll know that somewhere or the other, there is a straw that I can pick and make my nest. There is somewhere or the other something that I can take as an opportunity for making sure that I fulfill what I have promised myself. So what I mean is, the whole dynamism in discipline is because of that fixing and the static decision that you make.
Understood.
Don't give excuses. And the whole beauty thing around this is, your stories are made in the dynamic approach that you went to fulfill that static decision of yours, that fixed decision of yours. And that's the storyline. So when you ask Shah Rukh Khan today, how did he achieve it? That's all through the dynamic efforts that he put with one decision that he wanted to be the best. And then the rest of the things just follow, right? From where the straw comes, how did he build his nest, is now like a story that he can tell the whole world. So is there something that you have decided for yourself? That's what we did in the first episode. We said decide something so that your journey begins. And then at this stage, when you said that you need to act, I'm saying that action needs to be repeated again and again and again and again.
Which is easier because you have given us the idea that it is in the moment, not sometime else. Because we feel like we divide our acts. At this time we will do this, that time we will do this, tomorrow we do this, that day we do this.
It doesn't work. You have to make sure that you are in that mode of act in alignment with the decision that you made. Always. Always. So if you're traveling from here to school, okay, and you have time in the bus, you will study.
Yeah.
I know my friends, during the 12th standard exams, the most beautiful thing is they used to go by the bus, and we used to get the bus ticket. And there were these bus tickets which used to get 3, and the backside of that used to be blank. So my friends used to take the pen and used to solve their chemistry equations on that. Even that excitement, that in the bus, in the chaos, they were studying. Okay. They all went to become, really successful in their exams, because I could see they made that into their daily part of their livelihood.
At every moment.
Every moment. Even a bus ticket, I can tell you that. And my friends, if they're listening, they know what story I'm telling. They did that. So you should not give a reason. I know a friend who used his handkerchief. He used to write on that. He used to do anything. You go to the wall, writing, rather than on the wall or a tree, writing a curse equation.
Anywhere.
Everything. You see. So discipline means how much of that thing is in you, and how much of that thing you're letting it to come out in you. Okay. And it should be a part of you.
Yeah.
Then only your whole dynamic story begins.
No, thank you so much for this clarity, because what we do is what should be kept static, that we make dynamic.
Yeah.
And what should be kept dynamic, that we make it static. Because the decision which should be static, because the situations which would be dynamic, because now they are dynamic, this also starts becoming like that.
Exactly.
Like most of our decisions fall into the dynamism of it, like according to the situations. Then we become static on this, that because we fix ourselves for situation, that when this type of set thing should, you're saying find a way to where you can study. But there are some ways, no, we need this stable, शांत रहना चाहिए, सब होना चाहिए. कुछ लोग को music से, sometimes I wonder how they study with music.
They all excuses. Whatever takes you away from the decision
is an
excuse. Don't give excuses. A disciplined person does not give excuses.
That's so you again. I mean, you are connecting rightly where we are leading to. If you go back, you were telling about how they put in order within the chaos. So this is something. If you look this on this slide, we have the
order versus
chaos with the spider's net, which you talk about.
So you look at it. There's no two, order and chaos.
Yeah. I mean, now we change it. Order within the chaos.
Yes. And so you see, there is chaos for a mind that does not see things clearly.
Yeah.
For the mind that sees things clearly, all chaos can be ordered. Okay, can be organized. So when you look at things, when you do something, whenever you're going to start a new act, okay, take an action, it's never going to be in order, right? But it's going to be chaotic in the beginning. Let it be. Start with chaos. The existence today, the world has evolved because of the Big Bang, chaos. Right. So don't worry. Just go with the Big Bang, start something, and over a period, you'll realize that this chaos can be organized. Because if there is no chaos, what will you organize?
But when you become used to the chaos, how do you shape yourself into order?
You cannot be used to chaos. You need to either understand that this is chaos and I need to organize this, because chaos is not delivering me this, what I want. Right? So over a period of time, you'll realize that chaos is something that you organize. And this organizational method of taking chaos into organization is called discipline.
And then what is think order here?
Order means now there's a system.
Okay.
Okay. Initially, there is no system, and that's chaos. When there is system, there is order. And if you look at discipline, it begins with chaos. It is very difficult because there's nothing, going on.
Otherwise, you would not think
Once
disciplining.
once you see everything working in particular order and you order that thing according to that so that the things work, then you realize that this order is where discipline starts flourishing. In that thing, you will be able to enhance yourself, your skill sets, talents, everything, whatever you want. So the biggest challenge is where to start and how to start and whether it's going to be perfect. No, start. Even if it's chaotic, doesn't matter. Start. And then over a period of time, organize it. With organization, there will be order.
So that is what you mean when we should start it, let it be chaotic.
Just start.
But don't forget that you have to organize it over a period of
You
time.
will organize it if you're aligned with your decision. With discipline, things get organized.
Give an example like how things can be chaotic at the beginning and then what decision is there? Like
I
keeping a decision.
always give example of a couple. They start their life. They have all the ideas of making it beautiful and this is what they're going to achieve.
Yeah.
As soon as the marriage happens and the whole honeymoon period is over, the chaos begins. But I say that it's okay. It's going to be chaotic. But in that chaos, you know that this is what this person doesn't like. This is what this person likes. This is what is, and this is what we have to do, and this is what you have to do. And now, if they both sit down and take the chaos as the topic and organize themselves, their life becomes much more beautiful.
Yeah.
And love thrives. That was there will now thrive. It was a seed when they came together, has now become a field that they can harvest, and the world can see that field, Once it was love that only they saw, now the world can see when they will live together as a nice, happy family. So you need to understand that it needs chaos to begin things, but it needs actually organization, order for it to sustain. And it always will follow this way.
Yeah, understood. And the decision was to build a happy family or good
Absolutely.
family?
Who wants to get married to build a very bad and horrible family? Everybody.
But why is there so much chaos nowadays? Because nobody is putting in that discipline or what?
No, because discipline is definitely not there. The discipline of giving each other time, discipline of contributing to each other, discipline of making sure that.
So it is not only limited to love or like that.
No, marriage began with love, but it then took a shape of responsibilities, accountabilities. So many things follow up along with that, right? So many things you have to manifest together. You have to create your
Because marriage, I'm not only looking for a couple. I mean, you get married to your goals also.
Yeah,
right?
so many things. So it is going to demand something from you. You cannot have only expectations. You need to also deliver somebody's others' expectations also. So when you become a disciple, you will definitely really get knowledge. But as a part, you'll have to pay the Guru Dakshina for that knowledge, right? You'll have to give back something. And that's what is the key. When you're disciplined, you're able to deliver yourself from that whole thing that is actually what once upon a time was an impossibility. You will make things possible with discipline.
Understood. So now we get the whole idea of
You have
cleared you have beautifully laid down us for what discipline is and those key aspects to just to if highlight those where it's the act should be now. It's not something it's a delayed act or a planned act. Your discipline will show in this moment. And that is how the clarity should be. And the idea where how time and space works and how works on you rather than you working on time and space, because you have to make them your masters and accordingly you pave in your path. Now there are some actionable item like we always do in our manifestation series, and the activity list and reflection question. We'll cover up couple of these, and the whole workbook will be posted for all of them to go through it. So the first one here is understand discipline as the key to success. This is the actionable item. Then the activity list goes out. Write down what discipline means to you in the context of your personal and professional life. Identify one area of your life where lack of discipline is holding you back from achieving success. reflect on how adopting a disciplined approach could help you achieve greater success in that area.
Yeah, so important, You need to identify some area where you know that this is because of lack of discipline, I'm not able to succeed. The, everybody will have some area where they are not able to do that because somewhere or the lethargy, that fatigue, that concepts and something does not allow you to do that, and that's where that success which is meant for you is not actually what you're receiving. So find that out, work towards it. You have to work towards it. See, it's easy to be disciplined on the things you like. It's very difficult to be disciplined on the things you don't like. Okay, but the real change comes from the things that you don't like. When you work on it, they can transform your
What do you say about
weaknesses.
the things that, like, again, there is this saying which I want to clarify with you, where do what you love only. Like, you're saying things which you like.
Like, for example, I never liked finance. I never liked maths. I was always against it. But that was my hindrance, and I never was able to go in the direction where I realized that actually maths plays a very important role. Finances play an important role. Anything in your life you need to do, money is always going to be the things that you're going to count on.
Important.
Right? And I did not like it. But when I was given a job and responsibility for that is what the thing that I had to deliver, and that was my responsibility, I had to take it up. And I started to now actually put discipline in it. I did not like it. Many a times even I tell I don't like it now. But because of the discipline towards it.
How did you put in the discipline?
Discipline means then I was given a job and I used to take that job as one responsibility that I had to, whatever I could try to understand from it, ask help, seek help, learn from the people around. Then I started to do that as a job.
Then it became
then it became so much interesting that I said, okay, this is it, I understood. This is it, I understood. This is it, I understand. Now I got that sense of understanding things. And because of that, I could now actually start knowing the numbers. Now because of knowing, I started liking. Okay, it was sometimes you like something and then you know it. Sometimes you know things and then you like it. I think the journey both ways is okay. Right? So discipline is basically for both. When you know and then you get disciplined, you'll like it. When you like it, you get disciplined, you'll know it.
Yeah. Oh, very true.
Yeah.
Then we have these reflection questions which we have. How does discipline play a role in achieving success for me? Then in what ways am I holding myself back by not being disciplined?
Yeah.
So that was it for the first one. The second actionable item is design a winning daily routine, which is through the activity list, create a schedule that aligns with your goals, break your day into time blocks dedicated to important tasks. Include time for focus, work, breaks, and personal growth activities. Exercise, reading, learning, or even meditating can be one of these things. Stick to this routine for the next week, ensuring you stay consistent in the following through each day. So, this is the activity list.
Beautiful. I think one has to put themselves into this act. Okay, break it down so that you start working on it.
Then the reflection question goes on. Did my routine contribute to my productivity and success today? What part of my routine helped me stay disciplined and on track?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So we'll cover up this one and then the rest we post online for others. The third one is actionable item, build consistency, not perfection. Then activity list, choose one task that you need to do consistently, like waking up early, completing work tasks, or reading daily. Set a goal to practice this habit every day for the next 7 days. Track your progress in a journal or on a calendar. Then reflection question, was I consistent in doing the task today? How did consistency affect my success today?
Yeah. So I think yes, the rest I think you can like the
Post
element you can post online.
What about this perfection? The idea of perfection?
Yeah, perfection. People have this idea that everything should be perfect and orderly. But I'm telling you, things start with chaos and
Then you
imperfection.
order it.
Because if it is perfect, then what is left for you to do?
Nothing.
Exactly. If everything is order, what are you going to do? Nothing. Because it's not in order, it's completely chaotic. You will work hard to make it in order. Because it is imperfect, you will try to perfect it. People who agree to their lives being imperfect, they perfect their lives. People who think their life is perfect, they never reach that perfection.
And this is said to be one of those truths we should realize also, right?
Yes.
That imperfection is it.
Yeah. So life is imperfect. It's our job to make it perfect. And when do you make it perfect? Every moment. Try to perfect that moment. It might be, it's like when you're driving a car, you're steering. You cannot just leave it at that point and say it will drive on itself. It depends on the situation, where to take a turn, when to take a turn, who is coming in between, how far, empty is the road, how crowded is the road. Everything works on that. Your brakes and accelerator, everything. Your action is in the moment, right? Then you say he's a perfect driver. But a perfect driver says, I just put and I go. No, you're imperfect. Perfection needs you to act on that very moment. That is perfection. Okay, perfection cannot be something in the future. Perfection is not a destiny to be achieved. Perfection is now, in this very moment. The way you respond to the situation is perfection.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even when Buddha says, the perfect enlightenment is not something that you have to achieve in the future. Perfect enlightenment means, now I see the suffering as no suffering. Now, at this very moment. Okay, I see that there is this thing which is impermanent. It's an illusion, and I don't get fooled by it. Now, not future. He's not talking about a future. He's talking about this very moment. And one who knows this very moment understands that this is my time now. I have to go. I have to study. I will not give any excuses. This is my time. I have to be in the office 15 minutes early. I have to get up and I have to go. I don't give excuses. I don't give reasons. I know my vehicle is not doing well. I will get up 1 hour before. I'll take a cab. I'll take something. I'll go early. Maybe I go 15 minutes early. Maybe I go 30 minutes early. But I will make sure that I'm on time or before time. So that is what is discipline. Discipline will always keep you on track. And if you're on track, your destination, your blueprint is all set. You will be actually, making sure that whatever you do, you'll always be successful. And the key ingredient of that is discipline.
Thank you so much for taking us through the whole, understanding or I hope we understood it. But, I was feeling that before discussing, as we laid down the whole idea, that what is the next step? Now I've started to believe it was not because they decided to put all of these steps, it's just they were unwilling at one point.
Yeah.
Because you were taking us through this whole journey, I was feeling, oh, so much effort. So much effort, and even like the closing statement is all about effort.
Yeah.
And then why? Because why would not someone put that effort when you're saying, because it's an effort, right, to get up that 1 hour before, because you feel you why this and that, and that whole idea of putting an effort feels like, oh, how will we have so much energy? So that is the next topic which we have after this, because I was thinking why they put after all this effort and that to energy itself. And now we understand, no, it's going to take a lot of effort. And that is why you need to understand even this idea, that how to cultivate that energy within you.
Yeah. So having that willingness to be disciplined is only and only through what we call in Sanskrit virya. Your effort. The ability to put what is it that you're ready to sow, that you want to reap for. Okay, that effort is the key. And effort is something that people have. They have to just put that effort. Nobody out there can say that he cannot put the effort. Effort they can put it. The results are not in their hand. And Krishna also says the same thing. You do your part of putting your effort, leave the results unto me, because that is not in your hand. So what is it that discipline tells you? That every day put effort as much as you can, not more than that. How much is ever your ability, that is your responsibility. Take that and respond to the situation, and the rest you leave it to time and space, because they know how to manifest things for you.
Okay. I think now you all are excited for the next episode, because you have laid the base that what is going to come in. This 2 minute verse from Rajesh sir was the idea that what is actually going to come.
Yeah.
And it's not only that these first one is giving up the rise to the second one, but also the second one backs up the first one. It puts in that, the whole support system for the previous one.
Yeah.
And they are getting one by one by connected.
Yeah.
So just to conclude before we close our session, do you have any concluding remarks for the audience?
The concluding remarks would be that understand the word of discipline. Discipline means to be a disciple. Disciple means whatever pal you get, remember that pal is where you have to act in a humble way as a receiver, as a learner, and contribute as much as you can, in taking that moment as your teacher. Okay, and then you will realize that whatever time and effort that you're putting into the act that you're doing, the act will reward you in unimaginable ways. That's it.
क्या आप पल को बता सकते हो क्या?
वही ना, disciple.
Oh,
This is the pal.
Amazing. Oh, that is why.
In Hindi, this is the pal. मतलब यही है
यही
पल.
पल है.
हाँ.
It is it.
क्योंकि सफल भी होने के लिए सिर्फ यही पल है. पल में क्या करोगे वही तुमको फल देगा.
The disciple and safal. This pal will make you safal. Amazing. So thank you so much. I mean, I think we can end this session.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you guys for staying with us and joining. I think we all got to learn a lot today, and it was a very important. Yes. So we forgot a couple of videos which we wanted to share. Would you like to hear what? I mean, that we should have shared in the beginning, but I think there are these people who have invested, and Kevin wants to show that we have Jim Ron and
Jim Ron, very
Hill.
nice.
Yeah. So which one we are playing first?
Jim Ron on discipline. Oh, fantastic.
The pain. It's a short one.
Well, I love this Jim Ron because with the clarity with which he is being one of the greatest teachers.
Yeah.
We would love to hear him.
So we have like the movie goes on, and the end there is some
take home from the great masters.
Yeah. So can you please play?
Finds peace of mind and happiness without the strict exercise of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the only means of transmuting sorrow into faith. It is the only means by which we may transmute hatred of others into the milder emotion of sympathy for them. It is the only means by which we may reveal and profit by the seed of an equivalent benefit which comes with every adversity and every defeat.
He relates the idea of the discipline to the peace of mind.
Yeah, he also says that in every adversity, there is a seed of an equal opportunity that it comes along. You understood? So it's like every problem in your life, it's through self-discipline. If you go through that problem very, very consistently, very disciplined way, you will see that problem was actually the seed for the opportunity that it unrevealed in the future. Yeah.
So I think they have some issue with the
audio.
No, the Jim Ron one. I'll just play it on my mobile so others can hear. I'll share it to you.
Okay, no problem. So you can play. And who else you have? Jim Ron and
we have Jim Ron.
So Napoleon Hill,
and
again a great
Jim
guy.
Ron.
Yeah, and
because he says this one is a good one.
Yeah.
He says,
can we play?
Yeah, I'll play here. If
you can play.
Need of regret. Go for the discipline because it weighs ounces. The regret weighs tons because it can accumulate.
Yeah. What was it?
So I'll tell you again. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Go for the discipline because it weighs ounces. The regret weighs tons because it can accumulate. Yeah. This is the idea.
So you see, one is it can accumulate, means all your failures, they accumulate. And success.
Not like that your failure, once you failed, it is...
No. You see, when you go down...
But failures accumulate.
Yeah, failure. The nature of existence is to accumulate. Now, either you accumulate or it accumulates. It accumulates when you put no effort into making sure you're dumped. You put effort, it accumulates to give you the reward.
Gravity.
Yes. So what is it that you can actually do is to make your life better, is to do it yourself. Let not situations, circumstances, problems, worries, stress, strain take over you and get you to work for it. Okay, then what will they give? Because if stress, strain, worry, they are your masters and you're working for them by doing nothing, what will you get? A lot of more stress, a lot of more strain. It will definitely take you to their kingdom. But if you go against them, you will leave them behind and move into the country or the a region where you have more, you can say, prosperity, you have more happiness, you have more joy, all those things. And that's what success is. So the journey is not going with them, but going with the effort of discipline. And discipline effort takes you to the journey where you want to go.
So we should choose our masters
Absolutely.
wisely.
You have to choose your masters
We
wisely.
should, and they should be the wise ones.
Yes.
I thank you so much, because it's very important for us to know who we are choosing as our masters.
Yeah.
Because again, that is what they will give us.
Yeah.
But just before we close, the idea of anxiety and fear of all of these things, do we have choice there? Because fear, do I have a choice to
Yeah, you have a
make
choice.
it my master?
Yeah.
Anxiety, all of these things, because
So
those are some things which we feel like fear is not in my control and anxiety is not in my control. For the one who's going through it.
So that's where you seek help.
Mhm.
You go for somebody who is a teacher or guide, who can help you. And if you seek help, there is a possibility that you can then have a new master over the
Understood.
existing master
But
that is ruling you.
Yeah.
So if anxiety and worry become the master,
Then they
then
will
seek another master so that you can be saved from this
Yeah.
masters, right? So then you move out from their world into a new world. That journey is to seek
So
help.
it's very important.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
seek
you
help,
have to
because
seek.
otherwise they will teach you all the anxious thoughts, all these
will breed
worries
in
and
you.
everything. The concept of
Yes.
Mara, you can see.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if there are there any questions, Kevin? No questions. From any of you have any questions? Amukta, you have any? Okay.
All clear.
All clear. So thank you so much, guys, and I think we can tell them that we'll see you next time on the topic of energy, where we understand the whole idea behind what effort is and how it is going to be required for us to complete our manifestation process, and how it backs up with the discipline and all of the other things which follow it. So thank you for joining in, and
See you again.
see you again.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.